The Big Mike Rant, the Big Mike Rant, the Big Mike Rant. Stop procrastinating. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Big Mike and the Big Mike Rant. Today's topic, how to stop being a procrastinator. Listen, what is a procrastinator? Why do you need to hear this? Well, that depends. Do you put things off to the last minute? Do you feel like I do this because I work better under pressure? Which is bullshit. But, why do you procrastinate? Why do you put things off? Why do you avoid things, manipulate your own time? Why don't you get it done early and then be secure in the knowledge that it's done? Are you one of these people that has homework and you're trying to do it on the bus on the way to school? I mean, come on. According to, I think it's like psychology.com or something, I don't know. There's three basic types of procrastinators. One is the avoider. You put things off because they might make you feel bad or because they create an emotion you don't like anxiety or boredom or sadness or something. Sometimes that's because you're seeking pleasure all the time and you avoid things that are painful. You're probably an avoider if you schedule tasks so far out in a calendar or you're convinced others that there isn't time on your agenda for that kind of stuff. Or you put items related to the job where you can't visually see them. You need to think about why you're doing that. And one of the ways, just a few of the ways that you can stop being an avoider is to maybe break a big job into smaller steps or find somebody to encourage you. Think about, why you're doing this. Maybe because it'll make you look good and you don't want to be promoted or something. I don't know. Maybe you don't think you have the skills or knowledge that will help you. I don't know. But you have to think about how to fix it if you want to not be a procrastinator. The second type of procrastinator is the optimist. So you consistently think that a long, complex job, it won't take that long. My son told me one time, don't worry, Dad, it won't take that long to catch up. And I thought, well, that's great, but you could have already been done. Thing that gets me is why do people, here's a good question for you. Why do people think they have time to fix it or do it over, but they don't have time to do it right? See, that gets me. So you might be an optimist if others tell you you're overconfident or you're delusional if you think you're going to do it in a quick. Or if you just brush off warnings from people, don't worry, I got it handled. Or maybe you don't remember all the other times where being a procrastinator produced a negative result. Or maybe you don't have a plan B. What is a plan B? That's what happens when plan A goes wrong. You might fix that behavior just by use your smartphone to create a pacing or a reminder that says, hey, I need to get started on this. Maybe you need to have somebody else schedule it for you. You need to have maybe a point of no return on your calendar or in your mind where you can't avoid it, where you can't say, well, I haven't got any more time, I have to get it done now. You have to create your own action plan. If you're one of the people that been put on an action plan at work, it's almost always because you're a procrastinator. And, number 3 is you might be a pleasure seeker. You really don't do what you're supposed to do until you genuinely and absolutely feel like doing it, which doesn't always happen. Sometimes procrastinators that are pleasure seekers just don't do it. It's not so much about avoiding the job as it is deliberately choosing something you like better. This is sometimes how people get the reputation of being a slacker, because they don't mind doing things they like to do, and they'll do that with gusto. But they hate doing stuff that they don't like, and they sometimes don't even do it. You're probably a pleasure seeker. If somebody gives you ideas and you just shoot them down, I don't want to do it like that. No, I don't want to do it like that. You don't have any patience for things that aren't yours, jobs you like to do. And you're one of them people that lives in the moment. Oh, I'm busy right now. I can't even think about it right now. Or you sometimes will pivot the conversation and say, well, that's great, but what about this? See, here's something you have to do to fix this behavior. You almost have to reward yourself by doing the things that you don't like to do. Give yourself a 5-minute break, or go get a cup of coffee or something when you do something that you should do on time and you don't put it off. Maybe you got to think about why it's beneficial. Maybe you need to have small breaks throughout the job. One thing you have to do, and I just honestly agree that this is probably the most important thing, you have to be honest with yourself. That you might not ever be in the mood, but sometimes that's not important. You got to get it done, get it off your plate. So anyway, I really think that in order for you to be successful, you have to think about how not to be a procrastinator. And those are the 3 biggest kinds. If you fit in those categories, think about how not to be, somebody who avoids it, or somebody who looks for only the things that make them happy. Think about why somebody might think you're a slacker and go about fixing it. Anyway, this is Big Mike. This is the Big Mike Rant. Y'all have a good day.